Good morning, folks. I'm Dan. Wanted to do a quick little builder basics this morning, and I'm here playing in the reloading room, so I guess it's really not the ideal place to be talking about airplane building, but I was at the trap range this morning, and I'm just going back through and reloading some of the holes that I shot up today, so I thought this was a good opportunity just to ramble on a little bit. This builder basics has kind of been on my mind for quite some time, and it's several things have prompted it that I'll kind of explain a little bit. One of them is the way we build, or builder standards. And I'm not talking about construction standards, which are the requirements that we need to meet FAA's requirements here in the United States to build planes. I'm talking about builder standards. And those are the standards that we basically set for ourselves about the quality of the way our aircraft's going to be, or what level of quality we're going to require of our own aircraft. And I see a lot on a lot of the discussions about, it mainly comes up with corrosion protection, but it will relate to anything we do building our airplanes. And a lot of what I hear is, well, I'm X number of years old, I'm only going to be able to fly for another X number of years, 8 or 10 years, whatever the case may be, if everything goes right. So I don't care what happens to my plane after that. And that brings up several things in my mind that we should be considering when we're making statements like that. And one of them is, for me personally, I'm not building in any set longevity for my airplane. You know, I want my plane to be something that I pass along to my children, and hopefully my son will enjoy that and utilize it. That's my hope. Whether that's what happens or not, I don't know, but that's kind of my hope. So I don't want part of my legacy to be built, oh, he built that airplane, yeah, and that was a great accomplishment, but by the time it came to me, or by the time it came to his children or his grandchildren, why, it was wore out, you know, because the quality of it wasn't quite as high as it should be. And what actually prompted this was, we have a gentleman here in our local airport who is having some health issues, and you see that quite often. A plane will be put up for sale, or, you know, usually by the builder, hopefully, saying, well, I've been diagnosed with whatever the case may be, and I'm not going to be able to finish my plane, so I'm going to sell it. So, in the case of the individual here locally, he's well along in the construction of a all-metal airplane. The quality of it is very good. You know, I met this gentleman and saw his airplane here last year, and he's well established in the local community as far as the aviation community. So I think the gist of this is, the word I got here just recently from a mutual friend is that he's not going to ever be able to fly that plane, is going to be the bottom line. So that plane will be probably sold off, you know, or something will happen to it. And I think his wife will probably be okay, and his family will be okay with that. I think they have enough of a aviation community surrounding them that they'll be taken care of. How many of us actually have that established? You know, if something happens to us where we have to sell our project, or if it's left for our family to dispose of our project or our completed airplane after we're gone, one of the things that a lot of people are going to look at is, what is the quality of that aircraft? How well was it built? So, you know, when we say it's only got to last so many years, I think that does a disservice to the builder himself, and probably those that may be left behind when they have to deal with that project, if the quality is not as good as it can be. Now, these are experimental aircraft, and in this case, you know, I'm speaking mainly of Zenith aircraft because that's what I'm building. There are other aircraft that are more complex and more valuable, but why should the standards that I build my Zenith aircraft to be any less than that of a builder building a Carbon Cub or a Sonex or any of those other aircraft that are out there, a Kit Fox, no matter what the case may be? The other point to that is, here in America, we want products that are made in USA. That's one of the big things that we tout is USA made, because some of the stuff that's imported from places is not the quality that we want, because they are a disposable product. They're not built to last. They're going to fail after X number of months, X number of years, whatever the case may be. So why, as builders of our own aircraft, where we have control of that, why would we build to the same standards that we're complaining about of some of the products that are being imported? We have the opportunity to build something that will last, is American made, that we can be proud of. So a lot of times, why aren't we building to those same standards? Why are we accepting the same standards in our own project that we are not willing to accept from some of the imported consumer products that we have now? So anyway, kind of a little rant, I guess. I seem to be pretty good at that. But it's something to think about. When you go out and look at your project, when we're all said and done, our projects are not going to be perfect. There's going to be flaws in them and everything. But why should we limit the useful life of them from the start? Why are we planning our own obsolescence in our aircraft? Anyway, that's just something to think about. Hope those of you that are at Oshkosh are having a good time. I realize everybody's out there playing now and enjoying the show, hopefully. So anyway, if you find these videos interesting or controversial, or you just enjoy them, be sure and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you enjoy them, you might want to give them a thumbs up. If you don't, you might want to give them a thumbs down. If you've got any comments or suggestions, leave them in the comment section for me below. And thanks for taking the time to watch.